You're welcome to the show. Let me take you through the details now. The Electoral Commission has set September 10 to 17 for the exhibition of the voters' register as part of preparations towards the district-level elections and a referendum. This is to allow political parties participation in local-level elections later this year. Addressing a section of the media, Deputy Chairman of the Commission, Dr. Bosman Asari, said the exhibition is an opportunity to clean up the voters' register by taking out names of unqualified persons, including minors and non-citizens, as well as removing names of dead people.
As part of its preparations towards the conduct of the 2019 district-level elections and the referendum to allow political parties to participate in the local-level election by sponsoring and campaigning for district-level election candidates, the Commission will display the voters' register at all polling stations across the country from Tuesday, the 10th of September to Tuesday, the 17th of September, 2019, for public inspection from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day, including Saturday and Sunday. All the 30,702 polling stations in the country will be designated as exhibition centers. This means all polling stations are going to be part of this exercise. The register to be displayed was compiled from 2012, 2014, 2016, 2018, and recently up to 2019. That is since the compilation of the biometric voter registration in 2012. Purpose of the exhibition exercise. Basically, the exhibition exercise is to allow for prospective voters verify their details, such as name, age, sex, etc., and to be sure they were properly captured during the registration exercise, and make requests for amendments or insertions where necessary. Additionally, any person who is eligible to register as a voter may raise objections to names of unqualified persons in the voters' register at the center. In other words, if you suspect that someone's name is in the register, but the person is not supposed to be there, you are allowed to raise an objection. Requests that can be made at the exhibition centers are inclusion of omitted names. This is for a prospective voter whose application for registration was accepted and was issued with a voter ID card, but whose particulars are completely missing from the following: Provisional Voters Register, that is 2016, 2018, and 2019, exclusion or exceptions list, then finally multiple registration list. Objection to names of unqualified voters on the register. Any person entitled to be registered as a voter may object to the inclusion of names of persons on the Provisional Voters Register if he or she believes that they are unqualified to be registered as voters. The voter may be unqualified if he or she is not a Ghanaian, not at least 18 years of age at the time of registration, not a resident or ordinary resident in any locality or barred by law. Once the person does not meet any of these qualifications or is unqualified by any of these factors, the person cannot have his or her name on the register. Removal of names of deceased voters from the register. Relatives, community leaders, and any qualified voter may visit the exhibition center with information on deceased persons or persons who are dead to have their particulars removed from the register. Persons volunteering such information will have to produce the voter ID card of the deceased person or the person who is dead, and a proof of death of that person. Example, you must provide the person's death certificate or burial permit. The exhibition officers will do background checks on such objections to help facilitate such removal, as the register is for the living, and no living person should be removed through misinformation.
Dr. Bosman Asari there. Well, the exhibition will start from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. like he says, and it's each day, including Saturdays and Sundays, and that exercise will be across 30,702 polling stations. Now that's wide, and that's why we're going to get some more clarification on what exactly is going to happen. How is it going to happen? What should you, the citizens, know? I have two officers from the Electoral Commission here in the studio. They'll help us understand. I have Dr. Sribo Kweku, who is Director of Electoral Services. Dr. Kweku, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, my sister.
I also have here Michael Boydu, who is the Acting Director of Training. Mr. Boydu, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's begin with, understanding how far we have come, where we are coming from, and where we are at the moment, before we get into how the elections are going, the voters register exhibition is going to go down, and how the election is going to go. Give us a quick background for those who have not followed the conversation, why it has become necessary for us to do this referendum to decide whether or not we want to vote on partisan basis at a district level.
Thank you, my sister. If you go by the Constitution, Article 5(3) says that political parties are not supposed to participate in local level elections or at the district level elections. So the government wants to remove that clause and allow political parties to sponsor, campaign, and facilitate the contest by the people. We all know that as I speak, whenever there's any district level election, in theory or in practice, they say that they are not there, but the political parties are behind. So, and because the political parties are also not there, the turnouts are always low.
Okay.
So there's a belief that if you make it, you allow the political parties to participate, they're to ginger interest, and you will get the right caliber of people, and even sponsoring them will be good for them, so that we'll be able to get high voter turnout. And that is why I believe the government wants to repeal that portion of the Constitution.
If we say sponsoring them, are we talking about political parties now bringing money to support political party, the individuals to campaign at the district level?
It will be like they will do for the parliamentary elections. So they will come out clear and say that this is our candidate. They will sponsor
why is the focus on sponsoring the people? If we're going to have a partisan election, I'm sure we all understand. But why is it?
In election, when we talk of sponsoring, means that they are bringing the person.
For so it's not monetary.
No.
Okay, just to get that cleared out.
They will be on their ticket.
Okay, because we've already had a very big conversation about monetization of our political processes.
That's right. If you are sponsoring a candidate, the person is coming on your ticket.
On your ticket.
Exactly.
Okay. So this election, this referendum is basically for people to be able to campaign at the district level for elections on the ticket of political parties, which was not in the Constitution. So the Constitution was amended. So across 30,702 centers, everybody is going to have to vote a yes or a no. Is that how it's going to happen?
For now, we are talking about the exhibition.
I mean, before we get to the
we're talking about the election.
Yes.
Every polling station in Ghana, there will be election.
Okay.
For either the referendum or for this level election.
And so, how will it be when we're doing the referendum for the creation of the regions? We were told yes and a no, and the colors that represented them and everything. I don't know which of you is going to be able to take us through that.
It has to be yes or no.
Okay.
So we are yet to settle on the colors, but there will be two issues at stake. Do you support it? Yes. If you don't, no. And the election will take place at all the polling stations that we put across. But I don't want to be specific in the sense that after this is provisional register, after we are finished, it's possible that some of them will be spread. So it may go beyond the figures that we are putting, and that's why I don't want us to lay emphasis on the figures. Okay. But every polling station in Ghana, there will be election.
Every polling station in Ghana. And so, do we have an idea, the people who will be involved in this referendum? The number of people, yes.
But now we have almost 17 million voters.
17 million. Yes. That looks like a huge number.
But like I said, when we do exhibition, we are supposed to delete some names.
Okay.
And we are supposed to include some names.
So we could go up, down, or stay with the number.
But I am sure that going down is more possibility. Yes, because inclusions are usually few.
Okay.
But there will be more objections in terms of underage, non-Ghanaian, and the deceased.
Okay.
So automatically it will go down.
Okay. So what's your what from your experience over the years? Usually the numbers don't go up.
Yes.
Okay. Let me come to you, Mr. Boydu,
Yes.
and find out what sort of, we're looking at the numbers involved, the number of polling stations. Now, this looks really big, and that's not even the real election. This is just the referendum. Let's talk about training for the people who are going to be handling this. What have they been made to know, and what should those who are going to engage them, I mean, those who will be voting, also know about the process?
Good. Thank you, Gifty. We have trained our people to expect a number of requests at the exhibition center. The first among them is, like my brother said, people might come to request for their names to be included in the register because they have duly been registered, they have their cards, but their names could not be found in the register. There might be some reasons for that. So they will apply for what we call inclusion of names. So we expect such concerns, and so we have trained our people to know how to handle people with such concerns. And
can you give us that training now? I mean, like, as in,
yes,
what have
like
you told them? What do they do?
If you come to the center with a card, and we go through the main register, and your name is not there. There are other documents at the center. We have the exceptional list.
Exceptional list.
Exceptional list contains the names of those who were challenged during the registration and were subsequently disqualified by the review committee. They were disqualified by the review committee. Their names will be placed on the exceptional list. Now those who registered outside the statutory period allowed for registration. If you did illegal registration and we get it, we'll place you on that exceptional list.
So do you have a list like that now?
Yes, we do.
People who registered illegally?
Yes, if your registration fell outside...
Suspected.
Yes. So it falls outside the period we allowed. You know, we give time for registration. So if by certain reason we get to know from the data that your registration took place at the time we were not supposed to, then we will place you there. It's like we'll quarantine the name. Yeah. And then we also have the multiple list. And it speaks for itself. Those who register more than once, we also place their names there. Now, so if your name is not on the main register, but it happens to be in any of these, that means that you were involved in an illegality, and therefore, and that explains why your name is not in the register. Good. But if we go through the main register, then we go to the exception list or the multiple list, and still your name is not in there, then there's one conclusion that your name was inadvertently taken off. So there's a process we take you through to get you back. To get your name back in the system. Is it a long process? No. It's said that we will fill a form for you. We call it the inclusion form. And then we'll give you an authority. It's a slip. We just write it for you so that you take it to our district office where a new card will be prepared for you. Okay. So this is essentially what's going to happen at the exhibition. That's one of the several things that's going to happen. Oh, one of the several things. Yes, we are about 5 or 6 of them. Oh wow. And I want to chip in. Okay, Mr. Dr. Kwe, go ahead. We have Form 1A and Form 1C. So if you actually register, the form will be there. So we will cross-check with the form and be sure that genuinely you registered, but the system has not captured you before you'll be added. Okay. So you said about 5 key things are going to happen. Yes, one includes checking your name, and then first check whether your name is in the register. That is number 1. 4. The second one is check whether there are mistakes with your data, so you call for correction. Okay. Good. And then the third one is what I've said, if your name is omitted, they will add it. And then the fourth one is so that you can also call for removal of names of people you suspect are not qualified. Okay. Yes, you can ask for them their names to be removed. Well, what's the process for people who suspect that or whose names are suspected to be unqualified names and have to be removed? You know the basis for registering a voter. You should be a Ghanaian, 18 years, and you must live in the locality, your sound mind, those things. So if one has a reason to believe that you did not qualify at the time you registered, he can bring any of these charges against you at the center. So what happens is that there is a form we called objection form. You complete it, and then there is a review process. Here we have a district registration review officer. Normally it's a magistrate of the district court, who is normally picked as a review officer. In his absence, we pick a lawyer of at least 3 years standing. Now, this person will go through these objection case and make a determination as to whether the objection filed by that individual holds water or not.
I see.
Good. And so when the decision is taken, the EC is complied to give effect to the decision of the review officer.
Okay. Will there be representatives of these political parties there at the exhibition centers? Is this part of the process?
Yes, it's a public activity. If they request to be there, we will give them accreditation to come.
Okay.
But let me say that
do they have to request to be there?
Yeah, they have to. That we want to be present at the exhibition center, so give us accreditation. We'll give it to them.
Okay.
But you see, in the past exhibition, they have never shown interest for or coming the parties.
Well, perhaps because it wasn't political, it wasn't partisan.
No, during the general elections, we do exhibition, and it's purely political. But even that, they don't. But if they come, why not? We'll give them access to go.
Okay. As we speak now, Dr. Kweku, if I should come to you, have you had any requests of such from the political parties hoping to be present at the exhibition centers?
Yes, we were just coming. I had a call from the voter registration director.
Okay.
That they said they want accreditation, so I've asked them to go and process them.
So it's open to political parties who want to be present. They have to only have to bring in a request to the Electoral Commission, and that request will be honored.
Yeah, let me
they have to go through some
just 3 other things that.
Okay, I just wanted to find out if the political parties will have to. Is there something they need to
produce?
Yes, requisition. You know, that they need to go through.
Our exhibition centers, police stations are all security zones in court.
Okay.
So you cannot go there when you have no business doing there.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes, I was saying that you can also request for the to delete the names of your dead
relatives. Yeah.
Yes. And then you can also request for change of name. If you had your maiden name, you married, want to use your marital name, you can also go and come and change it. And if your ID card is so bad that your face difficult to identify, you can also come with changes for you.
Does it really matter to change the name, for example, for people who got married? It doesn't really matter because during the voting day, if you can prove that you are the same person.
Yes. On the voting day, you vote with the name you registered with, and that is your maiden name.
So if that's what's on the voter's ID card,
yes, that's what you vote.
We have a lot of such requests.
Okay.
Some of them are saying that maybe they are married and they want to join their spouses outside.
Okay.
And in most cases, Ghana, the voter ID card has become our national card.
Okay.
So when they are processing some of the documents, they want to see the voter ID card. So they will come and they want.
So sometimes it becomes necessary for people to check.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, now let's look at the exhibition itself. What preparations have we made for it? The huge number we're looking at. We're talking about training, but let's go a bit more into the exhibition itself.
I'm happy that you are talking of huge numbers. So that tomorrow when you go to one center, you see one problem, you don't...
Well, if we see a problem, we'll report it.
No, I'll give you a report, but you see, you have to be huge numbers. So
well, we report it.
30,000, you see one, and so that the whole thing is so bad.
No, but if you see it, we report it as it is. So yes, we report it as it is, and we'll leave it to the Ghanaian.
Don't report it, but the way
I know you won't say we shouldn't report because we will report. Yes. But we will report and we leave it to the Ghanaians to make the judgment for themselves. Okay, so let's look at the plan.
We are doing the distribution of the materials.
Okay.
So if you go to our head office now, you see the place is very busy. The same way if you go to the regional offices, the place is busy. The district offices are also busy. They are all doing the distribution. Okay. So we are hoping that goal and tomorrow by 7 o'clock will be set and the exhibition will start. So that's what it involves a lot of forms. So if you go to the center, as my brother was taking you through, every polling station or exhibition center will have one old register, that is the 2016 one. The 2019 one is separate, so we have two different registers. The 2019 register and the 2016, because that one has gone through a lot of revisions and the rest. Then you have the exclusion list that he mentioned. The other called exclusion was exemptions list. It was to be there. Then you have multiple lists. Those who have done multiple registration, that one will also be there. Then you have the various, about 10 or more forms for inclusion. Even inclusion, I don't have about 3 forms.
That's a whole lot of papers.
Exactly. So all these things will be there, and that's what we are working on.
I thought that we were moving towards a paperless system. I mean, how far are we with that when it comes to this process?
The challenge is that our polling stations don't have the network. Some of the places, even if you go there with your phone, you need to climb a tree before you can have a call. So we'll get there, but not yet.
But I mean, we could start from places where you don't need to climb the tree to make a call.
How reliable our network?
Places in Accra. There are several places in Accra, for example.
I agree in Accra.
In the cities.
I agree with you.
You
know what I've been doing the limited registration?
No, tell me, sir.
Oh, but
which one? which one? So many things happen. Which one?
No, we wanted to use VMS, and we ended up using the BVR. Yes, it is the issue of network. So, me, maybe because I'm a village boy, I don't normally like talking about the network because most cases they end up disappointing you. They are the best, but in our country now, you put your trust in them. The last minute one, you are in trouble.
If someone misses the registration deadline, are there any provisions for registration another time?
2020.
In 2020.
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't have your name in now, or if you didn't go to do the corrections before the election 2020, there'll be another exhibition.
Are you talking of inclusion or correction?
I mean any inclusion, correction.
Correction, you can vote. Okay. My name is Sribo Kweku. They made Kojo Kweku. I can
doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
But inclusion, new
inclusion,
people.
That one, your name is not in the register.
So if you're not able to register now,
if you don't go for the exhibition for inclusion, if you're already registered, you are off for 2019 elections.
Okay.
Yes.
But 2020, the main elections, there will be another exhibition, and then so
there will be limited registration or whatever you want to go by.
But what would you advise people to do to do this one, or?
I want to plead with Ghanaians that don't sit home and think that you voted in 2016, so you are okay. That's why we are exhibiting 2012, 2014, 2016, 2018, and 2019.
Okay.
Because we accept that there could be challenges on them. That's why we said, come and see if everything is correct. If there's any problem, let us address it.
All right.
Don't sit there and say that I registered and I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Like that, the day that you want to go and vote, you realize that maybe you've missed something.
Okay.
So everybody should go and check and be sure that all the particulars, the data, everything is correct. Okay. So you can look forward to the district level election and the referendum.
So let me just make a very quick, ask this very quick question. So personally, where I voted, I no longer live where I voted. What do I have to do? Can I just go to where I live now and say, can I have my name included on this particular list?
Not less than 42 days to the election date.
Okay.
The law entices you to go to the district office of where you are now residing and apply for transfer.
To an electoral commission office? Or the district assembly? Which is which?
The district office of the
electoral commission.
Of the district where you are now residing.
Okay.
And apply for transfer. Not less than 42 days.
Not less than 42 days to the election.
Yes.
Okay. And if I don't do that, then I'll have to go to where you registered. What about voting by proxy? What happens to that?
Voting by proxy means that you registered at a polling station. For some reason, you cannot be there.
Yeah.
And even that one, you have to apply not less than 42 days to the election.
So you still have to apply for that one. I see. Well, if you have you have a problem that fits mine, then you have to go to where you registered originally. You have to go to where you live now, and then I have the district electoral commission office there transfer for you. We understand. We're hearing that for those in Ayawaso West Wuogon, you are no longer registering people. Can you update us on what the situation is there?
We are no longer registering people. I don't get it because we are doing exhibition now. We'll finish it.
Well, actually, the entire Ayawaso. We heard that the entire Ayawaso. What's happening there? If you give us an update.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
They are part of the exhibition. Yes, they will be part of the exhibition exercise. And so.
And they were part of the limited registration.
Good. Okay.
So, we are not doing
nothing
from other.
Really
nothing at all happening there. Okay, because we're picking information that the when registration ongoing around that place in that particular
doing the limited registration.
I mean, for that, it wasn't going to be a part of
this exercise. Yeah. No. It's throughout the country. They're part. They are taking part.
Okay. Well, tell us what kind of, before we wrap up, what kind of challenges are you facing so far with the preparation and with everything you're doing towards the referendum and the exhibition of the voters register?
Well, challenges. We do have a bit of logistics challenges, but it's not that which cannot be worked on. And so, generally speaking, I must say, we don't really have challenge because we have the men that we are well trained and are ready to go and do the job.
How many men are we looking at here?
For this, every polling station, as mentioned, the 30,000 class, you're going to have one person manning the center.
So you have over 30,000 people.
That is the minimum. It's going up. Besides this one, one person per that center polling station.
Is that enough?
Yes, for this exercise, one is enough.
Okay.
Yes, and then at the district level, we have 3 persons. We call them the exhibition supervisors, who are supervising those who will be in charge of the polling stations. Okay. And so for every district, we have 3 people. So multiply that by 3. So we're talking about 32,000 officials that are all well trained to do this job. That's
a very big number. Yeah. Are we talking? I mean, in terms of remuneration for all of these people, are we there?
Yes, we are. Now we knew this, so we budgeted for the previous year against this year. So,
so how much are we looking at here?
In terms of money?
Yes.
They wouldn't be able to tell you that now. So that people go and tax them.
Oh, really? I mean, so when we put the amount together, how much are we looking at for the budget, for the exercise? I mean, the referendum and the exhibition.
We don't have the budget with us. If you have been informed, we can look for it. We don't have the figures.
It looks to me like you don't want to disclose much more than you don't have it at the moment.
It's not a small amount that you can get put across.
Okay.
Because we're printing, and what we are talking about, look at the documents I mentioned. We are printing all of them. So it's a huge amount of money. The fuel that we will consume during this period, the money you people are taking from us for advertising.
Well, this is free, isn't it?
No, not this one.
But it's all part of it.
Yes. You take money for the JoyNews and the rest. Yes. So we don't have it offhand.
Okay.
Yes. But if I from earlier, I would have come with.
And your budget has been, you've had the money disbursed. You have your money.
We don't have any problem with it in terms of release of funds for such things.
I see. Do we have anything on timelines in terms of, so there are 2 different things happening now. The exhibition of the voters register and then the referendum.
No, exhibition.
Are they happening at the same time?
No, the exhibition is happening now.
Okay. It's happening starting tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow up to 17th of September. When we are done, then on the 17th of December, we will have election of the district level elections. That's the district assembly elections, unit committee elections, and then referendum. So it will be 3 elections on the 27th of
the 17th of December.
17th of December.
Okay, can you go through that again? I think I got lost.
On the 17th of December, we will have the district assembly elections, the one which elect assembly members. We'll have the unit committee elections, which elects the unit committee members. And then we'll have the referendum.
All at the same time?
At the same time.
Okay.
So you go to a center where they filed nominations for all these elections, the DLE. They will go to have, you see 3 ballot boxes. Yes, and 3 ballot issuers, 3 screens.
3 ballot boxes, and 1 is for... Okay.
3 ballot boxes. 1 is for the assembly election. Yes, 1 is for the unit committee, 1 for the referendum.
1 is for the referendum. Yes. And you are yet to decide on which colors, and this is happening on 17th of December.
Good.
You are yet to determine which colors you're going to use in the referendum. Yes. Yeah. Okay, what goes into choosing the color?
That one is the commission's decision.
Management takes decision.
So the commission will come out with a question.
Okay.
No, referendum is about question.
Okay.
So, but the main issue is that we want to politically democratize the local level elections. So do you agree? But I don't know how it will be framed.
Okay, do you agree? Yes, no.
So and in this case, to have the color, let's say yellow for this or black for this, whatever. Okay. All these decisions will be taken by the commission.
Okay, so yes, no. So you choose yes, no, and then how many votes will win a yes?
Okay. If the law says that 40% of the registered voters should vote, so the voter turnout should be not less than 40%.
Okay.
Then the number that will vote, not less than 75% should support the decision.
So 75% should say yes.
That's right.
Then the decision, well, if we don't get that amount, that percentage,
then it has been rejected.
It has been rejected, and there's no chance for another referendum.
Oh, there can be another referendum, but that's another day.
Okay, so then it will take time to build up and then come through with another referendum. Okay, so this is for the district assembly elections, unit committee elections, and the referendum. Finally, on timelines for the register exhibition, which is starting tomorrow on the 10th and is ending on the 17th. And the 17th. So after 17th, you cannot register until 2020.
Yeah, you cannot have the chance to check your names and particulars
until 2020. Okay. All right. So let me just take your final words. I believe that it's been a very educative conversation. Hopefully it helps you and it answers questions for you if you have questions on your mind regarding what to do with the election. So let me take your final words. I'll start with Mr. Bodu.
What we want to say is that if for some reason you are so busy you cannot go and check your name yourself, you can give your card to your kid sister, your friend. Just go and check for me. That is allowed by our system. Okay. If for some reason your card you cannot locate your card and you want to check, you can go even without your card. We have a process of identifying you and make sure your name is there. But the only problem here is that if you give your card to somebody to check and he or she detects a problem, they cannot correct it for you unless you yourself go.
Okay.
But we want to say that let's show interest in this exercise. It's part of democracy. Let's show concern and interest, and let's get the turnouts very high this time around.
Do you get the feeling, though, the sense that that is happening? Are people following?
We can only hope so.
You can only hope so. Yes. Any research or any work being done behind the scenes to identify?
You know, we are embarking on a series of educational activities. Okay. And we trust that it will sync well with the people.
Hopefully so. Dr. Clark.
What I would say that Hadano is always alive. So don't sit there and think that so my name is there. Go and check and be sure that the name is there. If there are corrections to be done, they will be done for you. We have a lot of instances. People come to our offices with problems with the spellings of their names. Recently, somebody came with the name Ochiri. He spells it OTC, but it was written OKY. And the person came from US, and he's applying for dual citizenship. Because of that, he was rejected.
Oh, wow.
So don't wait. There are petty things we underrate them, but become bigger problem when we are faced with.
Are you allowed to change your age?
Well, if that's you come with documents that the person who made a mistake, or if we quoted the wrong date, but you come with documents as evidence to prove, we'll do it for you.
So everything can be
don't be surprised
corrected.
That somebody like you can go there's mail in front of the person. It happens.
It happens.
Yeah, keying and those things happen. Yes. So there are people who are males, but the records are showing that they are females.
Okay.
And the other way around. So go there. It doesn't take much time. You check and everything's correct. Whether I'm mistake, you have corrected them. You can then relax and feel comfortable shopping your thumb, getting ready for 17.
Okay, so the elections for the district assembly begins on the 17th of December, and they will be also conducting elections for the unit committees, and then there will be the referendum whether or not we should allow partisan elections at the district level. That's for December. But tomorrow until the 17th of September, the voters register is being opened, is being exhibited. You go there and correct any information you need to correct or have your name included as well. Thank you very much for coming. I've been having this conversation with Dr. Sribo Kweku. He is Director of Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission, and Michael Bodu. He is the Acting Director of Training. Thank you once again.
God bless you.